if, for instance, Marvel should knock on your door, would you consider working with them?
I don't think anybody would mind, would they?
I'm just asking because Arrow is, of course, DC.
Yeah,
It's in the DC universe, and Marvel is completely different, of course.
Good script is a good script, you know. I don't think it's written anywhere in my old Arrow contracts that you cannot work for Marvel in the future and such like. So, I wouldn't. We're talking worlds of fantasy and stuff. I wouldn't have a moral, ethical sort of, dilemma in my mind about, something like that.
Let's ask that question. Why?
Because I really enjoy acting and I want to bring joy to other people.
There you
good
go.
answer.
Good start. From that point on, just listen to your belly, follow your heart, work hard, and you'll be on your way.
How's your experience so far?
Great. I love Holland, Netherlands. I love that whole vibe, and it's great being here. And it's a nice con. It's got a nice feeling about it.
As a detective in Arrow, what was the experience to play a role for that long period?
It was a very fortunate experience. At the end of the day, you're in a show that is running for that long, and the great thing about TV, as opposed to, say, a film play, where it's a 3-act structure, hero's journey, goodies, baddies, love interest, mountain, obstacles, come down, sunset, blah, blah. Great, works, it's been going for a couple of millennia, it's fine. But TV show's great, because the longer it goes on, the more you can explore, obviously, the more complex facets of every character, because no one's particularly good, no one's particularly bad, we've just got a bit of everything, and sort of balance it out, really. But that's the good thing. So, for example, Lance was antagonist in the first season, and then second, third season starts turning into, sort of arm around Oliver sort of guy, and and then having to come to terms with that himself against his own values and accepting a vigilante and all that sort of thing. So you just get to explore a lot more of it in TV when it goes on that long. So it's brilliant.
Did you take personally something away from the show itself?
Well, yeah, a whole life experience over a period of 8 years. I can't really pin that down to one thing. I mean, yeah, it's usually it changed my whole life. I mean, I'd been in Los Angeles a long time before that, and you do a pilot, gets picked up for series. You do maybe 1 season, maybe 2 seasons. Sort of modicum of success here and there, and then it's just going to the casino. You're just throwing the dice again, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's a jackpot, great. But the thing is, you can't take it for granted. You know what I mean? And you don't know at any given point during it, it's going to go for 8 years. Yeah. It's only when you look back, you go, wow, it went for 8 years, great. But every season, well, certainly the first season, it's like, ooh, it's a success. But it was pretty obvious that it was a big hit globally pretty early, and that it wasn't going to get cancelled sometime soon. So it was fairly straight, but we kind of did know it was going to run for a while, especially when it started spawning all these other shows and goodness knows what. But look, just great to be part of that experience, very grateful.
You had the crossovers, of course, and all the thing that was connected within the Arrowverse in general.
Yeah.
So
those are a little crazy, those crossovers. Yeah. It's like, what's happening? Yeah. Who are you? You're okay, just say the lines. All right. Get on. Don't ask too many questions. I remember going on to Legends of Tomorrow, and because my daughter was over there and everything, and Katie Lotz, and I started reading the script, and I am a script hound. I want to know every element of everything, every aspect of this character, blah 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 blah, story, because I have to find the truth of it and absolute nuts and bolts of it, and the marrow in the bone, everything. And I picked up the Legends script. What? I can't read that because it was just confusing me too much, and it was all happening like 2 days time or something, and I was just like, I can't. I found my own truth into why I was there, and I didn't have time to get into that whole sort of that whole universe that they've got to sort of rationalize it. So, but it was good fun.
What are you currently working on?
I'm actually developing my own project at the moment. It's completely nothing to do with anything as to where I would be in a place like this. I've always been obsessed with the world of borders. I've made documentary films before. I've traveled across America after the '08 financial crisis, interviewed people about the state of the American dream, made a film called This American Journey. I went to Vietnam once, raising awareness about wildlife trafficking, Save the Rhino Vietnam, challenged the government, did presentations, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of have this other sort of side of me which likes to do that sort of stuff. And I am currently developing the idea of a TV show about the world's borders, because quite frankly, we take borders completely for granted. I don't know when half of them were put there. I don't know who put them there. And on all kinds of different levels, I don't know why they're there, to be honest, especially in certain individual sort of circumstances. So each week would be going to a new border and be like, okay, let's interview some people, see the dialogue that's going in terms of the personal local experience of this border, and then see where it takes us in terms of discovering why it was there on a grand historical point of view, how it's affected people on a personal level, and kind of why it's there, and why we have the need to separate ourselves. It's in my brain. I went and shot a little sort of demo sort of version of it. I'm pitching it at the moment. So this is embryonic stages, but I'm just sitting there. And sometimes, you know, when I did This American Journey, on a real roll doing American television, mainstream network television shows, and then I had this thing, and I just finished one, and it was September '08, the wheels had fallen off America, the crash, but of course elsewhere, but the American dream and all that sort of, you know, sets itself up to be. And I just got obsessed about doing this film. I shot it in a month. It then took me 5 years to make it, to get it. I mean, it's on Amazon Prime. We did the festivals. The film was made. It was done. But I called my agent manager. I said, I'm renting my house out. I'm living in an apartment this big in New York. I'm editing. I'm making this film, right? And they were like, well, Paul, and I was like, I'm sorry, gotta do it. It's a calling. I'm doing it, and I did it. And then about 3 or 4 after, it was about 3 years into it, I was like, okay, I've got no money. So I better go and actually do some proper work in the meantime. I'll do this on the side. The first project I go up for was in the Steven Spielberg TV show. They wanted this guy, this documentary film producer, who's interviewing people as they're going down the Amazon trying to find this lost wildlife presenter. And loads of ad lib and all the rest of it. I just spent 2 years in an edit suite going, well, we'll put that shot with that one, then that'll make that look like that, and then he looks like an idiot, and then he's going to look better if we do. So I just went in there and riffed on all this stuff and got the part. Wouldn't have got that part if I hadn't have done the thing that everyone was thinking I was a bit mad for doing. I'm not patting myself on the back, but I'm just saying, because but at the moment I've just got this thing where I want to do this thing. If it falls off a cliff and nothing happens, fine. If it takes off and soars, great, but I just got to do it at the moment. People say, what do you do? And I say, well, I don't know, whatever I'm doing at the time, really. And, I take photos, I've had exhibitions, I do some writing, I'm writing a book, my name is not Paul Blackthorne, Comic-Cons, whatever it might be. It's just like whatever's going on, and just trying to give something over best that one can.